Hello. Hello, my name is Ricky Mango. I am going to show you Americans what is in the White House, what is on our Capitol Hill, and we are slaves in our own country. I am a slave right now. What freedoms do we have? Are the civil liberties still here and available? I'm going to show you the Antichrist that's right here in America. And Trump is waiting on us to make America great again.
In this video, we will find out why the Nazis and others burned books, and we will show how the Nazi book burnings paved the way for the killing of millions of people. From Hitler's rise to power to the Holocaust, and finally to the destruction of Central Europe in the Second World War.
Now, Hitler was against God. Hitler is, the spirit was in that snake. The same spirit that was at Jesus' trial, and they wanted Barabbas, that's the same spirit. So the spirit that was in Hitler is the same spirit that was in the snake. It was the same spirit that was at the trial of Jesus Christ when they wanted Barabbas, and they were there saying, we want Barabbas. But the same spirit was in Hitler is here in America. Hitler's body is dead, but the spirit is a spirit. And Nazism is here in our great country. And that's what you see in all this political fire, all this backbiting, and all this accusing by Jasmine Crockett. She is an abomination to this country, especially as a black woman. All she's doing is lying on this country. There is no racism in this country. The KKK aren't racist. And as I will show you through this video.
Fighting in the streets of Berlin. It was a democracy, yet with a fatal lack of Democrats. All of this led to Hitler's rise to power. In January 1933, Hitler became German Chancellor.
The Antichrist itself,
The Nazi rule was also
or itself.
The Nazis immediately started to get rid of their enemies. Now we are going to visit a very unique museum, the Center for Persecuted Arts in Solingen, in the west of Germany. It focuses exclusively on artists who have been victims of terror and violence. Here, we are going to find out whose books have been burned and what happened to the authors. Who were the artists who were not welcome in Germany anymore?
Today in Germany, every citizen must think only as the Nazi leader dictates. Every book not in line with Nazi doctrine, the works of liberal thinkers, the writings of all Jews, are seized and burned. So thoroughly organized is Nazi domination of the individual that there is not a single German home that escapes surveillance. In every village, in every town and city are stormtroopers from whose headquarters the local party leader directs his district's campaign of terror. Marked victims for persecution.
This film, created for a US audience, reenacted the events
that took place in Germany in the spring of 1933. The Nazis' Reichskulturkammer controlled all of cultural life in Nazi Germany.
The Nazis decided to use in the Reichskammer Kulturkammer, not in the Reichskulturkammer. If you were not in the Reichskulturkammer, you were not allowed to work officially in the Deutsches Reich as an artist.
The cultural elite of the Weimar Republic was out.
So you could not publish, you could not go into a stage in a theater, you could not work in a movie, you could not be exhibited in a museum or in a gallery or something else.
In these showcases, works and documents.
She was courageous. In a play, she let actors speak these prophetic lines. The concentration of the book burnings is reminiscent of religious ceremonies, typical of Nazi events.
Übergeht alles Undeutsche dem Feuer gegen Lastern und Materialismus für Volksgemeinschaft und idealistische Auffassung. Ich übergebe dem Feuer
They're burning the Bible too.
und Tausende.
Burning everything of God.
German radio listeners could follow the report live. The radio was one of the most important propaganda tools of the Nazi regime, and propaganda was used to both
And they're
intimidate
using
and
plenty of
entertain.
propaganda here in America today.
Total control of the people.
Total control.
What type of art and literature was permitted?
20th century, Jesus Christ was the most potent moral figure in the Western imagination. We decided collectively what goodness was with reference to him. Whether or not you were a believer, his moral authority was pretty much unimpeachable. Since 1945, the most potent moral figure in Western culture has been Adolf Hitler. Of course, in his case, it's evil that we define with reference to him, but he has become the defining reference point for that. He is a figure whose criticism and
Nazis in
rejection
Capitol
is
Hill.
absolutely universally shared.
That spirit is in
And
Capitol
to
Hill.
praise or to defend him is quite rightly to make
The
oneself a
accuser
monster.
is there.
The result is that we've now got a new secular definition of morality and a secular iconography of evil. And even the way that the story of the Second World War is told and retold in fiction or in cinema shows the power that that story has as the moral basis for our culture.
Adolf Hitler was a fanatical leader, a megalomaniac who led his country and many others into the abyss.
Some historians believe that Adolf Hitler thought that his mission in life was to rid the world of Jews. That even if he didn't build the Third Reich for 1,000 years, he would be celebrated for eliminating the Jewish population from the world. I don't know how you begin to deal with that kind of madness.
And that's the same thing they're trying to do to our country, which I'm going to show
Hitler was
you.
born in Braunau am Inn, Austria, on April 20th, 1889. Hitler's childhood was an uneasy one. His father died when he was very young, and he was not a good student.
He wasn't even a good student. So that's the spirit that was in him.
Attractions to anti-Semitic and rabid anti-Bolshevik.
Now, America, this part is about von Braun. Von Braun was a Nazi just like and a believer in Hitler and everything Hitler believed in. They are one. He is a killer just like Hitler is. He didn't care about the Jews no more than Hitler did. All of these people are his boys. But von Braun is a brilliant scientist. And when Hitler went passed on, that spirit went inside von Braun. It's called Operation Paperclip. And that spirit came over here in Von Braun, as I'm finna show you as this goes on.
Werner von Braun was one of the most brilliant scientists of the Third Reich, considered the father of German rocketry and the American space project. But how was this possible? How did one of Hitler's top scientists end up sending Americans to the moon?
Yeah, look, you see him right there. He got a broken arm. He talked his way out of death.
What we are going to see throughout this program. When the Soviets launched their Vistula offensive,
they actually showing a video of a killer.
Von Braun was at the Piedmont scientific base, which was
The
about
spirit
100
is in who came in with that man.
very close to the mouth of the Oder River.
This is the history of this man, but it is flesh. And he came in the spirit came in with Von Braun.
Would they continue working in the laboratories? Would they quit their job and try to turn themselves into the Americans or Soviets to offer their services in exchange for a new privileged position? These were the two main questions during said meeting. On the other hand, the head of the large Piedmont laboratory and testing ground, SS General Hans Kammler, ordered the scientists to move to another base that was right in the center of Germany, about 120 miles.
All of these people roll with Hitler. All these people knew about the Jews, knew about the hate. See all that?
Naturally, all the scientists agreed that it was better to move to central Germany to continue working in a laboratory.
All these people is of Satan. All these people are of the spirit. They just in the flesh. You see them in the flesh, but there's a spirit. It's an entity inside of the spirit, inside of the flesh. That's what you're looking at. They were already here.
Where an abandoned iron mine near the city of Golsen was used
where God formed the atom from the dirt.
Related to the V2 and other more modern and improved.
Lucifer and a third of the angels was in attendance.
Was in a car accident in which he suffered a fracture to his left arm and shoulder. The accident took place because his driver fell asleep at the wheel.
That is a lie. That is something that they're making up. They were trying to kill him because of what they saw, what those soldiers saw in the concentration camps. They were trying to kill him, but he talked his way out of it. He's cunning.
Scientists having to be transferred again to the small town of Oberammergau, located in the heart of the Bavarian Alps. Although it seemed that their situation was enviable
because they were trying to kill him.
The truth was that they were guarded by SS guards who had orders to execute them all before they fell into American hands. However, von Braun was able to convince the SS commander who was guarding them not to kill the scientists, and they were finally captured by the Americans on April 29th.
Was able to talk his way out. That's the first talk.
And since von Braun did not trust him,
the devil was cunning.
He ended up fleeing the place with a small group of highly specialized scientists and headed to Austria. There they were able to surrender to the Americans of the 44th Infantry Division on May 2nd.
See, now look at the killer. He happy.
He introduced himself to American soldiers as the man who had invented the V2. A few days later, in an attempt to win over North American public opinion, the German scientist declared the following in an interview. We knew that we had created a new means of warfare, and the question of which victorious nation we were willing to entrust this creation to was a moral decision more than anything else. We wanted the world to be saved from another conflict like the one Germany had just gone through, and we felt that only by giving such
they brought a Nazi into the country.
But by Christianity and humanity could they ensure a better future for the world. With these words, von Braun identified himself with the Americans and categorically
he lied, talking about he's with the Christians.
He pledged to fight.
He lied. Let's hear that again.
What Germany had just gone through, and we felt that only by giving such a weapon to people who are not guided by the laws of materialism, but by Christianity and humanity, could they ensure a better future for the world. With these words, von Braun identified himself with the Americans and categorically rejected the Soviets, against whom he pledged to fight.
That was a lie.
Under the flag of the United States.
You see that man right there?
States.
And then you see that
When the
man right there,
American High
that's
Command received the
Eisenhower.
news that their soldiers
They
had
know
captured
what it
von
is.
Braun, they were overjoyed because this
They
German
got
scientist was
Pandora's
at the
box
top of the
right
list
there.
of German scientists
And they
they
had
wanted to
control of
capture.
him.
The first thing they did with him was to
They
subject
had
him to a
control of
series
that killer right
interrogations in
there.
the same Austrian area where they
In
had
the
taken him
beginning.
prisoner.
Look at
After a
him
month in
smile.
Austria, and just 2 days before having to cede the territory to the Soviets, the Americans transferred von Braun to Munich, along with other men he trusted. From Munich, they took him to the base in central Germany, where the group of German scientists had last been working. The interrogations to which the German scientist had been
Called
subjected led him
paperclip.
to reveal the location of all the documentation regarding the German rocket project, which they had hidden in the iron mine near Goslar. From that point on, the famous German scientist was taken from one place to another until he ended up at Kronsberg Castle, located very close to Frankfurt am Main. This was the place where the British and Americans brought together a large part of the scientific, economic, industrial, and
And
technological
all them killers, all them Nazis. And that's what's in Capitol Hill. But
Many
it's
of these
their
German
spirits.
personalities were recruited and integrated into Operation Paperclip. In
Paperclip.
summary, Operation Paperclip was a secret United States intelligence program in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians were brought from Germany to the United States to work for the American government. As we will see below, many of them ended up being placed in key positions in the CIA or NASA.
Look, in
It
key
was specifically
position
on June 20th,
is Nazism in
1945,
America.
when the Americans approved von Braun's transfer to the United States.
They
making him
flew
sign a work
the
contract with the
Antichrist
US
into
Army
our
Artillery
country,
Corps.
right there.
The first thing the team of German scientists led by Braun had to do was organize and classify all the documents that had been rescued from Germany in relation to their rocketry work. The new residence of
They
these
put
scientists
them
was a
in
military
high
base in Fort Bliss,
positions.
located in Texas,
In
near the city of
CIA,
El
they
Paso.
put Nazis
During the
in
first
high
years, the
position.
conditions in which they were kept were
Those
quite
are
harsh,
spirits,
and many Germans
part
complained
of the
about
third
both
of the
food and
angels
their
that fell
residences.
along with
In
Lucifer.
addition, von Braun also complained that he
Cunning.
was not receiving the material necessary to progress his guided rocket program. On one occasion,
But the whole
he said
time,
that
it's
at their
not
base
about
in
the
England, they
rockets.
had never lacked for
It's
anything,
about
while in the
destroying
United
our
States,
country
they had
from
to
the
count
inside.
everything. Furthermore, the team he had in charge of him was also infinitely smaller than the one he had in Germany. Thus, during the first few years, and unfortunately for him, all of his proposals and requests were rejected.
Yeah,
Everything changed for him in 1950 after the outbreak of the
because he
Korean
was
War.
pissed off because
In this year,
he wasn't
von
running
Braun
nothing
and his
then.
team were transferred to Alabama to a new military installation where they would work on new projects. Thus, the new work he carried out in Alabama resulted in the development of the first high-precision inertial guidance system in rockets. In addition, he also designed
That's just a
rockets
ploy,
with which
them rocket
nuclear
ships and
bombs
stuff
could be
are just a
launched.
ploy, but the bigger
In the
thing is the people of this
mid-1950s,
country.
von Braun assumed leadership of the development operations
Had
division
all
of the
everybody
Army's
looking up in the
Ballistic
sky.
Missile Agency, and was able
But
to
they're in the
design the first
CIA.
rockets to be launched into
Killers
space.
are in the CIA.
This
They just
made it
want to
possible
kill all
for the
those
first
people.
Western satellite to be placed into orbit on
As
January
this
31st,
video stated in the
1958,
beginning.
beginning the
But they
United
got
States
everybody's
space
head
program.
up in the sky,
It
paper
should be
clip,
noted that
and
just
then
a
clipped
few months
America.
earlier, the Soviets had managed to put Sputnik 1 into orbit, therefore being the first. This event caused von Braun to be given more prominence in an attempt to win this race against the
You
Soviets.
see, that's old school.
So, from here on, the German scientist became increasingly famous, talking about the construction of
And they
large
put
space
him in the
stations
White
or even
House.
carrying
They
out
put him
manned
next
trips
to
Mars.
Kennedy.
In 1958, President Eisenhower created NASA to compete with the Soviets in the space race. In this way, and because von Braun was the most brilliant scientist they had in everything related to rocketry, in 1960 he was named director of the center where the Saturn rocket was being developed.
He became
Braun
director,
was in this
a
position until
war
1970,
criminal,
and was
became the
lead author of the
director
Apollo
in our
program,
country
which in
who
1969
hate
was
peoples,
able to
who
successfully
hate blacks, who
launch.
hate Jews,
Once they
and
reached
became the
the American
director.
space program began to lose interest.
Imagine that,
Funding
America.
was reduced despite the German scientists' protests. This cutback and loss of interest led von Braun to resign from any position at NASA in May 1972, and from then on he dedicated himself to working in a private aerospace company.
Check this
Just
out.
as he was in the hospital about to die,
The
President
killer.
Ford bestowed upon him the country's
President
highest
Ford, the
scientific
highest
honor, awarding
scientific
him the National
honor
Medal of Science and
to
Engineering.
a
As we have seen
Nazi
throughout this
that
program,
hates
Braun was a
life,
key man for the
the
United
highest
States,
honor.
and this is demonstrated by
And
the
they're
photos
in the
of
Capitol
each of the
Hill today,
presidents of
that
said
spirit.
country. So,
Just
what
to
did you
take
think of this
take a
program?
rocket up to the
What do you
sky.
think about the second?
Now, the third segment of this is when John F. Kennedy in 1962 meets Von Braun and visits the NASA space station. The NASA work that they do at NASA. And I'm going to show you something. Watch this. Right here, this is Kennedy and them coming. This is in 1962. They got these killers in the country. They got Nazism in the country. See how Ford made him the highest regards a killer and rocket Nazi signs, and they lied to this country, saying that he's going to be on God's team. That was a lie. Anybody can say that. There's Mr. John F. Kennedy. Riding in them Lincolns back in the day. Now, this is like basically one of the first meets, because he's not meeting Von Braun right there. He's actually standing away from Von Braun when they do meet, and these clips about to come up. And so, is that the President of the United States of America riding with a Nazi in America? A hater of life, just like Hitler, riding in the Air Force jet, riding in Air Force One, just because he can make a rocket. Sell out. Look at that. Shaking hands with Nazis and the killers of America just for a rocket. CIA, high positions. How would you put killers in the Capitol Hill? Riding with him, y'all. Riding with him. A killer of Jews riding with the President of the United States of America. There's our great leader coming in. Check out the rocket scientist. See how he got his head up in the sky? Paperclip. Just worrying about this here rocket. Just worrying about the rocket because Russia did it. So because Russia did it, we had to bring in a killer. And then I'm gonna show you this one more clip of Kennedy and Von Braun. Yeah, they gave him the highest award, just to send rockets up to space. But they got him in the CIA, remember? They're right here. They're there now. It's the spirit, not the flesh. Here we go.
Of course,
space installations at Huntsville, Alabama, where he is greeted by Dr. Werner von Braun, space pioneer and director of the Research and Development Center. The missiles on display are dwarfed by the mighty Saturn rocket. This booster is the first stage of the rocket that will put the three-man Apollo capsule into a two-week orbit of the Earth in 1964 as a preliminary to a lunar.
Look at that, got the killer walking with the president. The spirit of the Antichrist is walking with the president, hoeing with the nation.
The president has a long chat with Walter M. Schirra, Center, our next man in space.
Now check this out here, America. Did y'all notice when did they take prayer out of school? The answer lies in the landmark Supreme Court decision of 1962-63, which banned organized school prayer and Bible readings. The role of prayer in school has evolved since then with various approaches to the reconciling the desires for religious expression with the need to safeguard religious liberties. Now, y'all imagine that. How is the Supreme Court gonna ban God? You cannot ban God. Without God, there wouldn't be no Supreme Court. But I didn't know about this. How many Americans knew about this? That's part of what we brung in this country. Von Braun, and then killers of Jews are in the White House. Killers of Jews are in the Capitol Hill. And so they finagle in, like Satan is cunning. So Satan got the president and the Supreme Court to ban God out of school. Now listen to this lie that John F. Kennedy is telling.
President Kennedy makes news on many fronts in his weekly press conference. To reporters crowding the State Department auditorium, he restates America's stand against any Red China threat to Quemoy and Matsu Island. He discusses his trade expansion and Medicare programs. Asked his opinion of the Supreme Court decision banning prayer in schools, the president says,
well, I haven't seen
He's saying, fuck God.
You have to make a determination of what the language was and what the effect it would have on the
Listen to this lie.
The Supreme Court has made a judgment because many people obviously will disagree with it. Others will agree with it. But I think that it is important for us, if we're going to maintain our constitutional principle, that we support the Supreme Court decision.
Without God, it wouldn't be the Constitution. Liberties and justice for all.
And that is to pray ourselves. And I would think that it would be a welcome reminder to every American family that we can pray a good deal more at home, we can attend our churches with a good deal more fidelity, and we can make
He can't even look up.
prayer much more important in the lives of all of our children. That power is very much open to us. And I would hope that as a result of this decision that all American parents will intensify their efforts at home.
It is. So, my great American people, did y'all know that this country is built on God, and they let the devil in the door. They let those Nazis that killed all those peoples and made them high above everybody else around the world, so they could have everybody look up in space to keep up with the Russians. It was called paperclip, and they done clipped us, and they still there now. The spirit of the Antichrist came in Von Braun. It's a spirit, so when Von Braun dies, it still went into another soul. It's an entity, it's an it. And those are just the vessels that you see. And they're cunning. They got the United States government from the 40s. Nobody would took prayer out of school. In 62, so they didn't implement it till when? The 90s? White Watch as the history goes.
A big Boston Red Sox fan, and one of the most.
Now we're gonna fast forward to part of the hate that's in our country, and it's a black woman named Jasmine Crockett. This is the most lioness abomination to another black woman in this country. For her to be running her mouth and not doing her job against, that's her boss. Trump is her boss. She is not the boss. And she's standing up there in Congress when it works hard for a black woman to get to the status where she is and lying about liberties and rights when I just showed you the clip of why there is no God in this country. And so she hasn't did one thing. I called her office about my own civil liberties, and they said she would get in trouble to help an American citizen. So I want you to check out this great harlot.
I don't know about that. They giving me hell, honey. Yeah, but you give it right back to them. A lot of them don't do that.
Absolutely. It's a must in this environment, though, right? Because they will steamroll right over you. And unfortunately, we see that ever since day one, baby, that pen been going and it ain't stopped. And it's steamrolling over all of our rights and our liberties and our freedoms and everything that we thought was the foundation.
If there is no God, where's freedoms, where the rights?
Yes. Seems like we're saying, well, no, with a pen, get rid of the Constitution. With a pen, get rid of empowerment
They
and
got rid
other
of
laws
God.
that exist.
Do you think that Americans just didn't believe that he would go with that Project 2025? Oh, what? What was that? I mean, he said, I don't even know what it is. Remember?
Oh, I remember, honey.
Yeah.
I remember there was actually a hearing that we had in oversight, and it was right after he said, oh, I know nothing about that Project 2025. And we had a witness, and I mentioned that his name was mentioned 312 times.
Yes.
In Project 2025. Yeah. So I was like, this is interesting.
You ever heard of that saying, if you can't beat them, then you gotta join them?
If it's his name, he's
The
ripping
man is already in the White House, and they still on his nuts.
Pulled it together. Yeah, exactly. So here's the
Keeping
deal.
chaos.
I
It's
think
called
that
the
there are
accuser.
those that just said, I want to do something different.
That's
and
a spirit,
so
but it's in that
typically when
body.
people are feeling it, especially in the economy.
And it's a black woman acting like that. As a black woman, black women, we do not do that. They do.
As we can see.
Yeah. Well, Congresswoman, Elon Musk imposed the team at the
So America, you see this is my daughter. I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota with my beautiful daughter when she is 5. At 7 years old, our bridges was a bridge. Our rights were a bridge. And this woman right here is saying liberty, civil justice, and all that. So how can that be when you took God out of it? Because when I call your office, Miss Crockett, because you look like you stand on it, but I think you do have those fake eyelashes. You gonna be the president, Spinderella? Because I call your office about an American citizen. Me and my daughter is slaves in this goddamn country. For the last 3 years, nobody will do nothing. I call your office in Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C., and the person who answers your phone says, oh, she'll get in trouble for helping us. We're enslaved. We've been kidnapped. And you can't help us. But the civils and liberties you own here, and you keep talking about Trump. Trump ain't did nothing, but you're not doing your job. I need you to get in touch with Trump and tell them about these atrocities that's been done to me and my daughter. We're slaves right now. I'm going on 3 years. While you up there running your mouth, disrespecting our country, talking about people are racist. People are not racist in this country. Have you ever been down to the dirty South? Have you ever spent time with them people? There's a storyline that goes with that. Well, I had the privilege of being a guest in Mississippi, Alabama. They love they Mississippi football and Alabama football. I met the former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. I met his nieces and uncles and all them. Yeah, they say we the best. I was called "fuck you, nigga" in a place called Grand Bay, Alabama. He had a Bigfoot truck and a rubber, and he was just going around saying, "Did me just like that." Yeah, great American, I guess. But the next time I saw that man, he was on his Harley, an American. They was getting beer and stuff, going on a chopper run, whatever they were doing. But they had a bunch of beer. When I was walking by, it was the same man. And he said, "Yeah, drink this, it's hot out here." So there's a story. Because you don't know nothing about racism, that Nazi. Like you're acting like a Nazi because you are being an accuser. That's Nazism. That's racism right there, but not in this country. It's none of that here. There's stories with it when I was able to eat with them, sleep with them, and work with them. And they say we the best. So basically during our tenure with them, we were being bullied because they say we the best. When I'm down in Mississippi, Alabama, they say ain't nothing like a black man. That's not racism. No, you're calling out things on our country that doesn't even exist. But when I'm calling your office because me and my little girl have been used, abused, enslaved, like this whole country is, I get nothing. I get nothing. So if you can stop what you're doing and being on all these TV shows doing nothing for this country, you are doing nothing. People have voted you in. All these women, hey, look at her. You are an abomination to a black woman. A black woman does not do that. We do not do that. We do not act like that. We don't act like that, they do. As a black woman. So, America, as I've been fighting for almost 3 years to get my daughter from this here 14th Amendment abridging our rights, and nobody will help. I done reached out to all kind of the FBI, they hang up. I called some of the civil leaders, Al Sharpton, but here Al Sharpton to get up there and speak and get a paycheck. But he's not fighting for the struggle. Even that man, Zero, you have on your album, Kneel Down, the spectacle of black success, he's a spectacle too, because I got in touch with him about this same subject. He does nothing. So, all these attorneys does nothing. Ben Crump, I done got in touch with your office. I didn't even tell them nothing about what was going on, and they sent me back where he can't take it. Yeah, you're not forwarding the information to Ben Crump, just like I sent this evidence to the Minnesota Board of Judicial Standards. So the Minnesota Board of Judicial Standards is over judges. Can't say nothing. Yeah, so America, as Miss Crockett and all these other people, Trump, you just got everything up in an uproar for doing the right thing. Trump is preordained by God. He hasn't did anything so far that I see that what the church should have been doing back in 1962. And the church supposed to have stopped taking prayer out of school because its church didn't stay. See, there was no Samson that stood up for the church. There's no Abraham that stood up. There's no Moses that stood up. There's no John the Baptist that stood up. There's no Jesus that stood up for our children to take prayer out of school in America. So just think, America, from the East Coast to the West Coast, we all said prayer. This is our foundation. This is our country. This is what we're built on. This country built on blood. And like I say, even the KKK, when I was visiting them and was amongst them, they say we the best. And that man told me, he said, you don't go against this country. He taught me, you don't go against this country. So, like I said, I asked the man, why y'all don't kill black folks no more? He said, hell, it's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law to take God out this country. Don't y'all see the chaos? They need to take out the war on drugs. They need to get rid of Child Protective Services. It has did nothing but separate families. So what you guys think about your church now? Your church is hoeing with Lucifer. Your church is hoeing since 62. And they done took prayer out of school. So y'all want to get paid, Trump, they want to get paid. So that money in Kosovo, that's a heist. And that's Nazism. If you do your research, that's Nazism. The same thing Hitler and them did when they took all them Jews' money, they took all them countries, they call it booty. And they had all that gold and stuff. Don't y'all know y'all history? So the same Nazis that's in this country with Biden and them to send all this millions of dollars to Ukraine. Trump, you need to go get our money. And you need to get our money. And I don't know why you ain't went over there and get it. What they gonna do? Nothing. You go over there, look, we want our money. Because they finna divide that money. All them Nazis up there that you see up there, when y'all seen Elon Musk doing like this, he can't say it, but he letting y'all know it's Nazis in Capitol Hill, in Congress. He just can't say it. You don't remember he was saying, oh, there's dead people? Yeah, he talking about those Nazis. If you look at them clips, how you gonna give a Nazi a CIA position when they are faithful to Hitler all those years and all those Jews died and all those people died? It's called paperclip. While they was looking up at the sky, watching them rocket ships go up, they were the devil was planning our destruction. Nancy Reagan, Ronald Reagan, is one of the worstest presidents we ever had in this country. A woman, as her being the first lady, Nancy Reagan, there's no way there's supposed to be a war on drugs in America when there wasn't no war. See, that's Nazism. That's racism. Now, when you look at this woman called Jasmine Crockett, she just going across talking about liberty and justice. That's the same thing Satan do. Just accuse. God changed Satan's name, Lucifer's name, into the accuser. There was a war in heaven. there was a war in heaven. Then there was a trial. And then he changed Lucifer's name to the accuser and then struck it in the third of the angels down here on earth. Now they was here. Now, when God formed the first man, Adam, guess who was in attendance? Lucifer and the third of the angels. They watched God formed the first man, Adam, from the dirt and breathe life into him. See, that church ain't gonna preach that. They were already here. And Adam know what they look like. And then while God was down there before he even made man, when God was on this earth, before he even made man, he was still talking to him, can we come back up? Nope. Can we come back up? Nope. Y'all done messed up. They were already here. And so he made a bet. He said, I'm gonna create a human in our image. We just a little lower. But all we gotta do is believe in him and we're rich. And y'all not standing no more. So when he made Adam, and then ain't no telling y'all how long it took him to name every animal in the garden. But that snake, that spirit was in that snake was standing right there watching God present the animals to Adam when he was naming them. I bet you that old snake was standing there and God said, what are you going to name this, Adam? And Adam said, I'm going to name it Lion, but that old snake had legs standing right there next to him talking about, I wouldn't name it Lion. And God said, see what I tell you? So you got to watch them. So God, at the same time, taught Adam about Lucifer, about the accuser and the third of the angels. They was already there. Adam know what all of them look like. Adam know what all of them look like. He know what to do with them. But he chose not to because he loved his wife, Eve. It's good. It's not bad. It's good so God took the first man, he said he needed a helper. But after God trained him up, and it ain't no telling how many years it took God to train Adam up. First he taught them about those spirits, the accuser with the third of the angels down there, because they was all around him. And God left Adam there with him. I'm finna go up to heaven, I'll be back. Told Adam, don't be going over there, don't be messing with them. But this is how you get rid of them, by the word. See, the preacher ain't preaching that. The preacher ain't preaching that. But that same spirit that was in that snake is been through the history in the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. But it's not, so I'm trying to tell y'all before y'all leave earth, but it's basic instructions on earth. And y'all not reading the history. It's a fixed fight. It's a fight. And Trump can't do it alone. Trump is sent by God. Trump, if they want that money, everybody waiting on a check. You get that money from Ukraine, and then let's see how much that everybody don't give a fuck. They say, well, I don't give a fuck, Trump. They say, I don't give a fuck. They sitting up there like, you ain't did nothing wrong, let me see. You know, like, everybody got a house. Like, you're deporting. So you're deporting people out. Okay, so America, you got somebody in your house, and then they disrespect your house. What you gonna do? You gonna put them out? So he's doing that for the whole nation. He's saying they messed up, so y'all gotta go. And then sometimes you got to pay to get rid of a person. So he even paying to get rid of them. Shoot, let me see. Putting them on flights, feeding them steak. They even dress good, getting on them planes. He even got them looking good. Y'all missing that. Let me see, what else Trump do? The next thing he did, he said, oh, there's a boy and there's a girl. take that ideology out of who we are. You a boy, you a girl. Yeah, that's who you are. So that's what the church supposed to have been doing. So he's bringing all that back. So you want to tell me something else what Trump did? See, but what y'all did was deny God. See, y'all said America, fuck God. That sin that's the biggest crime that this country has made. When you got the Nazis in there and got a war on drugs. So I'm going to tell y'all, Trump, if they want that money, you go over there and get that money, Trump, because what they going to do? Just go on, fly one of them C5s in there and say, we want all our money. It ain't a goddamn thing they going to do because that's our money. And then bring that money back over here. And then let's see if this country will bring God back, bring prayer back in school, get rid of the war on drugs, get rid of Child Protective Service, get rid of everything that's against this country. Because even the Ku Klux Klan tell me, Ricky, you don't go against this country. So they are not racist. Shit, they say we the best. Ain't nothing like a black man. You need anything done, you get you a black man. We were in the house. Why you think inside our homes as Americans look like their house? So that's the deal. But at the same time, I'm trying to get my kid back. Because I can't get my kid because y'all said the hell with God. Got the liberties, got the justice for all, got everything in place. But the only thing that's missing is God. Because I can't get my stuff to the right, proper authority for the third of the angels, the third of them demons, the third of the angels that fell are in these positions to get that to help the people. Everybody is saying, oh, we can't help you. I'm saying, but we've been kidnapped. Our rights have been abridged. Oh, we can't help you. Oh, we can't help you. This not America. Yeah, because y'all took God out. Y'all took God out. Let me see if y'all give a fuck. Y'all greedy America? Y'all want some money, right? Don't y'all want that money? Well, better pray to God again, and better we the people better stand up. Trump waiting on y'all when he's saying make America great again. He waiting on y'all because he can't do it by himself. Elon Musk is not a Nazi. He's doing that science. He's trying. That's a code. He's trying to say, hey, it's Nazis up in here. Y'all better look at that history again. And so why in the hell would they want to put a Nazi CIA in the head of CIA? And then with the Kennedys. This is why the Kennedys are dead. Dancing with the devil. Dancing with the devil. Robert Kennedy said in 25 years there's going to be a black president, which is Obama. Obama know what it looked like. Michelle Obama know what it looked like inside there. Why you think Obama is always going against Trump? Now they got this little prissy Jasmine Crockett up there. She is lying. She's lying on this country. She's lying on this country. There ain't no racism in this country. Look how far we done came as a nation, America. We are integrated. Now we go to schools together. We go to college together. We go to sporting events together when we didn't. So where's the racism in our country? It's right there with Nazism right there in Capitol Hill in our great country. And they're making you guys forget y'all roots of where we come from. Because y'all remember everything was kind of cool when it was Jefferson, Archie Bunker. We were learning each other. Now, here come the war on drugs. And as a country, y'all should have been like, hell no, we're not finna do that, man. Don't you know all the shit we've been through? That's called racial profiling. Same thing like Hitler did to the Jews. It's another form of slavery, another form of control. Child Protective Service, you need to do a federal investigation on the corruption of Child Protection Service. How can y'all idly sit by and let them destroy the fabric of our nation, which is God? And I pray that I get some great results from this video. You know, God say it it take people like me, the downgraded, the scourge of the earth, to confound the wise. If y'all take a good look at that abomination called Jasmine Crockett, that is the accuser, the Antichrist. If y'all take a good look and watch her body language, she is in Congress, and the lady telling her, you got fake, you are privileged. That is a compliment from a white woman, telling her, you are privileged. And then the way she acts, she said with them fake eyelashes, because she's fake. And then look how she backbites in Congress. She act like she's the star. A black woman does not do that. We do not do that as a people. They do. If it's so hard to get there, so then why are you, look, y'all, she's up there, not helping non-American that voted her ass in there. Because I need help. My little girl, I need help. And I called her office in Washington, D.C. They said she get in trouble for these liberties. I said, she knows somebody. I need her to tell Trump. I need her to get on national TV and talk about Ricky Mangum and these atrocities by Anoka County in Minnesota. Can she do that for one moment, one time in her life, to help we the people? Talking about the people this, the people that. Well, when I called her office, America, they said, oh, she'll get in trouble. How she gonna get in trouble when we voted in there? Everything, and liberty and justice for all. Well, here I'm American, and I need some justice. And getting none while I'm watching this black woman hoeing her bars, her degrees, everything that she says she got, looking like a harlot on national TV. Worse than no black woman, every black woman in this country, she making look bad. She's an abomination to Harriet Tubman. She's an abomination to Esther in the Bible. She's an abomination to my mother, and her name Mildred, my aunties. She's an abomination to every black Southern woman that I had the pleasure to meeting down in Mississippi and Alabama. And that's an abomination. No black woman does that. And it sounds good to y'all? It sounds good to y'all? Well then, who is Trump to her? That's her boss. That's her boss. I'm surprised Trump, you ain't just went up there and grabbed her ass. See, so now she wanna put Elon Musk on stage, but she ain't not one time. Have you got in Trump's grill, Jasmine, with all that shit you saying? Have you got in Trump and Trump's grill and said anything? You keep talking about behind Trump's back. Yeah, you keep talking behind his back. Was you there? You just going by things that they're telling you to say. It's an old saying in America. If you can't beat them, then you got to join them. So you're not seeing that he's bringing order back. He's getting rid of people that are supposed to be here. Like, y'all need to be gone too. You ought to be glad he ain't fired you. But America, Trump waiting on us. Make America great again. Nobody standing for nothing. Nobody standing for the roots. Nobody standing for God. Yeah, because God got something against y'all. He hot. God is hot for y'all, America. He said y'all warm, he can't even spit y'all out. He said y'all cold-blooded, because y'all said, fuck God. You took prayer out of school, so now your kids don't get God's prayer because somebody came to our country and made President Kennedy say, oh, we're going to take prayer out of school. And then so the same justices was there during Eisenhower's term. And then went up there, as it's written in the Bible, hoeing with the nations. You know, y'all know that story about Job, right? But what the preacher don't read in church is those 2 or 3 verses before then. He says, one day, Satan, old devil, came up to heaven and landed in the garden that I made it God. And it was smelling the fruits and the flowers in the garden that I made it God. And it was humming. And then I said, Satan, where you been? And God said, Satan replied, I've been under the earth, through the earth, around the earth. And God said, no, heifer, you've been hoeing with the 7 nations. The 7 nations are the leaders of this earth to change my ways and to change my laws. If you got the 10 commandments by God, without God, it wouldn't be the 10 commandments. Without the Constitution, without God, it wouldn't be the Constitution of the United States of America. So where's the liberty and the justice? It's here. Did they throw it away? I asked Google, they said, certainly it is not gone. Certainly it's still here, but okay, so then why I ain't got my daughter? Because y'all took God out of it and all y'all doing is going against each other the same way Germany was doing it back in those days. So y'all got Nazism up there in Capitol Hill, and you're looking right at it, but y'all think it's funny, like Jerry Springer, like the Murray Show. This is the propaganda they done brung into our great country, and y'all allowing it. That's what you're seeing. So God bless America and everybody in it. Amen.